Hi, welcome to Muzzle First. So today I want to talk about the Yeti Works speed loader. Give you a good shot of their logo here. They do have a really cool logo. So before we talk about too much, I'll show you how it comes packaged. So it just comes to you in a little clear envelope, and they have a little printed instructions for you. And this is all inside of a shipping envelope. But that does have their name and the name of the loader. And that URL right there is a link to their website, to their YouTube page. And you can actually see the video that where their instructions are. And I'll put a link to their video in the top right up here of the screen. All right, and so you can click over and watch their video and how to use it if you want. But at the bottom down here, they have some brief instructions, and they do recommend that you use some kind of a lubricant on these. So I used white lithium grease. And so basically what I did was I just put a little bit of white lithium grease down here in the bottom of the rail, and I used a Q-tip and I smeared it up and down the rail. So that is their recommendation, using the white lithium grease. And I also, at the range, I wanted to see if a little more lubrication would help it, and I used a little frog lube COP on it. Because that's one of the lubes I have in my range bag. It's the thickest one I have in my range bag at the moment. But and it works just fine. I did not have a problem with it. I did the frog lube the same way. I just put a little bit down in the bottom of the cracks, and I used a towel and rubbed it down here in the cracks, so it got really good in the grooves down here. Definitely need to lube these because it's a pretty tight fit for these 9mm rounds in here, and you want to give a little bit of lubrication so they slide smoothly inside the loader. But let me show you how they work real quick, and then we'll go to some video and actually using it. So they basically just sit on the top of the loader, all right, and you pick up some rounds and you shove them in the magazine. This is just a Federal. Show you the front of the box here. Federal 9mm 115 grain aluminum case. Love this ammo. This is kind of a two-handed operation, but I'll see if I can do it here around the camera. I'm not actually going to load them in the magazine, but I'll kind of show you what I did. So I just kind of held it on like that. All right. You're going to pick them up just like that, and then you're going to shove them in the magazine. So I tried two different methods for doing this. I actually tried first seeing if I could use my fingers to do it with. But here's the problem with that. When you apply pressure with your fingers, you see how that rounds want to push down? It's really hard to keep the round square when you're doing that. I don't recommend doing that. And that's one of the cautions that is on Yeti Works video. They caution against getting the rounds crooked inside the loader. So what happens is it's too easy to get the round going sideways, and they actually take the edge and put so much pressure on it that the edge will actually pop out. All right, it'll actually pop out of that track. And you can actually damage the loader doing that. So I don't recommend doing that. So here's what it looks like loading them by hand. You just pick up the rounds with the loader like this. You flip it over, you take your hand, you take one of your fingers, and you shove the rounds down into the magazine. That's it. That's all you got to do. All right, so that's what it looks like using it improperly. I'll just call that improperly. It works. You can do it like that, but it's too hard to get the rounds squared up in the loader doing it that way. The proper way of doing it, and I'll just show you this here. All right, so you're going to have, a hold of the magazine and the loader, and you're going to pick up some rounds, and then you're going to use your offhand to apply pressure to it, and I'll show you here in a minute. So you're going to pick up 5 rounds, just like this, and you're going to put it up next to a table, all right, something solid, and you're basically going to apply pressure straight forward and shove those rounds in that magazine. That's all that you're going to do, and it goes rather quickly. Once you get into a rhythm, it's real easy to get into a rhythm with that, and they load pretty quickly with this. I can't say it loads a lot quicker than doing it by hand. It's a lot easier than doing it by hand. All right, so let's take a look at using it properly. Okay. So using this speed loader properly takes a little bit of practice. You're going to have to do it once or twice to really get efficient with it. But basically, you're just going to pick up 5 rounds, just like you're seeing here. You're going to go to the edge of the table and you're going to shove it into the magazine. The key here is to keep the speed loader going straight. You don't want to dip the speed loader down to where the rounds start going in at an angle. You're going to cause damage to the speed loader when you do that. You cause the rounds to actually bind up in there and possibly even pop out of the speed loader. So this is all you're going to do. You're going to repeat this 6 times for 30 rounds. The last round, I found every time I had to push it in by hand, which is not that big of a deal. The last round's the hardest one to get in there. And then here's a close-up view of the same thing. So basically, all you're going to do is pick up 5 rounds with the speed loader. You're going to put it up to the edge of the table, and you're going to force them in there. So this is a close-up showing you what it looks like loading it. All right? The key here is to keep the speed loader going straight. You don't want to have the nose of the speed loader picking up or actually dipping down to where you're bending the speed loader, putting a little bit of pressure, making it twist. All right? Either one of those 2 methods are going to cause you a problem. But just use your offhand for support, and you're applying force on the table straight, and push the last round in by hand. That's all there is to it. All right, so as you can see from that last little strip there, you can load 30 rounds with this very quickly. It's not that hard at all, and once you get into a rhythm doing it, and you get used to having to hold this on the end of your magazine while you're forcing the rounds in there, it works. It works good. I'm gonna give it a pass. Definitely gonna give it a pass. Knowing what I know right now, if I didn't own this, I'd buy it again. And I did buy this. This was not a freebie from Yeti Works. I bought this, and they bought it under my name, not under my channel name. So they didn't know I was going to do a review of it until I asked for permission to use their logo in it. And I'll send them a link to it when I publish this live, and they'll have an opportunity to look at it then. Okay, but I definitely give it a pass. If you are looking for an easier way to load these magazines, whether it's the 30 round or with these little 20 round magazines or even the 10 round magazines for your CZ Scorpion Evo III, definitely take a look at the Yeti Works speed loader. It works great. Like I said, I'm going to give it a thumbs up. I'll give it a pass. I'll put a link to Yeti Works website down below. That's where I purchased this from. I don't know if they're selling this anywhere else other than their website, because that's where I bought it at. But I will put a link to their website down below, and you can go down there and take a look at their site and see what all they have to offer for these CZ Scorpions. So this has been Muzzle First. There's a space below the video on YouTube where you can leave your questions or your comments, or you can reach me by email at muzzlefirst@gmail.com, or visit my website, www.muzzlefirst.com. Please like and subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you, and you have a good day.